Welcome back to Global Lens. Now, let's deep dive into India's bilateral trade deal with the United Kingdom. Also, the state of play when it comes to bilateral trade and investments. In FY25, the bilateral trade between both nations stood at £44 billion, an increase of 10% compared to FY24, with UK exports to India amounting to £17.5 billion and India's exports to UK at £27 billion. India is UK's 11th largest trading partner now. Turning to FDI flows, UK is the 6th largest investor in India and has invested around $36 billion between April 2000 to December 2024. That's not all. In 2023, the foreign direct investment in the UK from India was £12 billion by 2023, and from UK to India was at £18 billion. India has invested in 108 projects and created 7,533 new jobs in the UK as the second largest source of FDI in October 2020. The two countries had established a new UK-India strategic collaboration on GIFT IFSC in April 2025. The 13th Economic and Financial Dialogue meeting was held with a focus on enhancing knowledge exchange, cooperation and support to further infrastructure development priorities. Robust fintech partnership and sustainable finance. We're now joined by K. Rajaraman, Chairperson of International Financial Services Centre Authority, to discuss how IFSC will be important for UK-India financial services and fintech cooperation. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Rajaraman. Let me begin by asking you, how do you see India is going to benefit with this trade deal, and how will capital flows to India increase as a result?
The decision by the government of India to sign the FTA and operationalize it soon is actually a big step forward in actually enabling collaboration between the two countries. UK can bring in a lot of technology to India, which is a very large market. India requires a lot of technology in terms of renewable energy, in terms of new sectors like battery manufacture, hydrogen technology, and so on and so forth. Similarly, I think the Indian companies which are wanting to tap into the UK market, there are a number of fintechs in India which want to probably expand and open a bridge to the other side of the border where a huge diaspora population exists. So I guess this FTA means a very, very big step forward in terms of enabling greater trade as well as investment between both countries. When it comes to investment, let me say that India, besides attracting investment in terms of manufacturing, in terms of infrastructure, etc., will also now look at green as a very, very important element, green and sustainable investments. So with a very large renewable energy program of about 500 gigawatt by 2030, out of which about 240 has already been commissioned, there is a great possibility of UK companies investing into these opportunities. Similarly, the hydrogen mission and the other manufacturing part of the renewable energy mission, which includes manufacture of solar cells, the grid storage batteries, and so on and so forth, present a wonderful opportunity. Coming to GIFT City, I think the opportunity lies in actually using GIFT City as a platform for capital raise for Indian corporates to actually to do all these elements of business, which include investments into infrastructure, investments into the manufacturing sector, venture capital, and so on and so forth.
Right. Going forward, how do you see the role of IFSC in attracting capital into India? You mentioned green and sustainable finance as a priority push. Would there be other areas where you are seeking investments? The reason why I asked, sir, in February this year, you had visited London to meet people across the fintech sector and the financial ecosystem. Which would be some of the priority areas for you where you would like to push investments?
Yes. So, during our visit and followed by another visit by the Honorable Finance Minister, we could see a very large interest in terms of investing into India in several key sectors. One of them being the green and sustainable energy. So there are a very large number of asset management companies in London which are focusing on infrastructure, and we could see very strong interest in green shipping and shipbuilding as well. I think very recently one of the asset management companies has signed an MOU with the shipping ministry, and also is working on in floating a ship leasing company out of GIFT City, and they are very keen to kind of finance shipbuilding activities in India as well. So in addition to that, I think the London is also a very strong center of sustainable finance. So we in GIFT City we have a renewable energy sustainable bond framework. We have a ESG fund framework. And also, we have given a strong directive to all the banks here to lend at least 5% of their portfolio on green and sustainable. So all this brings the possibility of pooling in green capital, I think which looks at green, renewable and sustainable opportunities. It also brings the opportunity of actually pooling in blended finance from institutions which are willing to strongly support the green agenda. On top of that, let me also say that there is strong interest from the UK, which is a center of insurance. I think, in fact, UK has been for a long time a very strong center for insurance and reinsurance. We are seeing a lot of interest in London-based companies in actually bringing in reinsurance capacity for India as well.
So when it comes to the banking and the insurance sector specifically, how do you expect recent reforms by the government and the interventions made by the RBI will encourage investments?
Yes, so we have seen a strong element of reforms in terms of all the regulators. I think the insurance regulator has actually enabled reinsurance companies to come to GIFT City by giving them a priority in terms of no collateral required if they set up operations in GIFT City. So we have seen at least about 8 reinsurance companies already registered with us, and at least half a dozen others which are in the process of applying for building reinsurance companies in GIFT City. This means that India will get access to a lot more reinsurance capacity within its own shores. Similarly, I think if you look at the credit markets in GIFT City, I think the RBI's recent announcement about allowing exporters to actually retain at least 3 months of their proceeds in GIFT City as against 1 month in other foreign jurisdictions brings in a great opportunity for exporters to use GIFT City as a platform to raise trade finance. Banks here will access more liquidity, and the ability of SMEs to actually raise trade finance out of GIFT City also goes up significantly. Let me also say that I think the current regulations in GIFT City is also has undergone some transformation. The fund management regulations have undergone a bout of reforms, and they are a lot more simpler. I think we have lowered the barriers for smaller fund managers and so on and so forth. So with all this, we expect more capital flows into India using GIFT City as the route. Just to give a small a piece of statistic, in the last year, I think about $61 billion of ECB flows happened into India. So these are all external commercial borrowings. About 31% of that came through GIFT City, with GIFT City contributing about $19 billion. This number is likely to go up as more and more banks like Standard Chartered actually, and many other banks like HSBC expand their operations in GIFT City. Let me also add that GIFT City ecosystem is now becoming more efficient. Last week, 3 days back, the Honorable Finance Minister also launched the foreign currency settlement system, in which UK bank, the Standard Chartered Bank, has participated as a settlement bank. So this implies that the GIFT City financial markets will get more efficient with real-time flows of capital.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Rajaraman, for joining us with your perspective on the India-UK Free Trade Agreement and how Indian companies are set to benefit.
One more point which I would like to add, if you allow me to do that, is also about the 3 UK universities which have actually set up operations. Today we have also issued the in-principle approval for the University of Surrey to set up a branch campus in GIFT City, and there are already 2 universities which are on the process of launching their branch campuses. So there will be 3 UK universities in GIFT City, which include the Queen's University Belfast, the Coventry University, and the University of Surrey, which will launch their courses sometime in the middle of next year. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Rajaraman, thank you very much for joining us with that complete perspective. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Global Lens. More news and updates on the other side.